Have you guys ever heard of this girl called Barbie? Okay, I'm playing. We all know her, and no matter what you really think of her, no one can really deny that she's a fashion icon. Lately, I've been trying to diversify the outfits I put my characters in so not everyone's just wearing a hoodie. And honestly, who better to reference fashion from than Miss Barbara herself? So I set out to make a fashion zine dressing my silly sock puppet character Plumbo in as many Barbie outfits as I could stomach. And as a bonus, I found these cool mini Barbie playing cards at the thrift store, and I'm one of those people who really loves using old memorabilia or media like this to make zines and comics with. I'm getting kind of obsessed with it at this point. Speaking of comics, right as I started the ideation for this zine, I remembered I had a comic show called Space to table at in like a week, so I set my mind to finishing the zine in time for the show. With no more time to waste, I started to form a plan. I wanted to make an accordion-style book fit to the size of the playing cards. I would draw 10 Plumbos, one for each page, and then use the Barbie cards to act as the front and back covers of the book. There was no time for second guessing, so I just grabbed my Pinterest board and went for it. I wanted to start the zine off strong, so what better to start it off with than the one that started it all? I feel like it would have been against the law if I didn't draw the very first Barbie ever released, so here she is. Barbie came out in March of 1959. She came with this cute striped bathing suit, black heels, and then came with these cute white sunglasses. So to get into the art process, I decided to sketch all of the designs traditionally first and then bring them into Procreate for inking and color later. This experience is already making me face off with my arch nemesis, which is drawing heels, but it paid off because look at her, she's finished. I think it turned out really nice. But we really have no time for breaks, so let's move on to Barbie number 2. Up next, we have Western Fun Barbie from 1994, specifically the Barbie in a purple outfit because there's actually several different outfits in this line. Well, there's 3. I think the purple is just the cutest. This line actually came out in 1989, but I think the 1994 set is the best. I didn't initially see the box art you're looking at right now. I worked off of this image where Barbie's actually the one wearing it. That's why I decided to go with the hairstyle that I did. Ultimately, I think it was the right decision because the hairstyle looks really cute and spunky with her little smirk. Just love her. But we've got no more time to talk about it because we got a deadline. Here's Barbie number 3. Here we have Evening Rose Barbie from 1992, purely because I think it's hilarious. That giant rose is just... Oh. I actually messed this one up the first time and drew it way too small. It was just so pixelated and unusable, but I think it was worth redoing because the second time I think the face came out a lot better. Plumbo is one of those characters that look best from a very specific angle, and from the front is definitely not that angle. Jokes aside, I am eagerly waiting for the giant, obnoxious rose to come back into fashion. But that could take years, and I only have 1 week. On to the next.
Very own angel wings, shimmering halo too. Now I look just like you.
That's right, we got My Size Angel Barbie from 1992, one of the 2 Barbies I could find a commercial for. This one was special because this doll was huge. And honestly, they really did used to make the dresses better because this thing had layers. Plus it came with wings and a halo. Although I did neglect to put the wings onto the final design, which is a decision that I thought real Barbie fans would be really mad at me for, but probably nobody cares. Hopefully. On that note, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing if anyone in the comments had these Barbies as a kid and would share their experience with having them, because that would be really, really cool. I think she came out pretty angelic looking even if she doesn't have the wings, so I think it's okay. Next.
There's a brand new way we can play with jewel hair mermaid Barbie.
For the 5th illustration, I went with what appears to be a fan favorite, and that is no other than Jewel Hair and Mermaid Barbie from 1995. This is another doll with a couple different variations to the line, and I had a hard time picking my favorite. Ultimately, I went with dark hair because I think it looks so much better with the little hair stars than the blonde. When I was thinking up this idea, I knew I really wanted to include some sort of mermaid. Over the years, Barbie has released a lot of mermaid dolls, and so many of them are so good, but I just really loved this one. Also, can I please take a moment of your time to appreciate how much work I put into these scales, man? Ugh. I sat in a cafe and just did these one by one. I don't know why I was so adamant about adding every single one, but I mean, she's jewel-haired mermaid Barbie. She needs her jewels. I'm even gonna linger on the tail shot so you can really look at them. I think she makes a good midway point for the zine. I feel like this is the point where I would try to transition or rush us onto the next design, but I think I'm fatigued. Are you fatigued? I decided to take a break from the zine so I could focus on the other last-minute item I wanted to have ready for the show. I'm definitely gonna manufacture next time. But more importantly, I wanted to use this break to make a prototype of the zine just to make sure all the artwork was scaling down appropriately. I think my main piece of advice to anyone wanting to do print media or like little zines like this, mini comics, make a prototype or at least print one complete page at the accurate scale the comic is going to be in, just so you can see what it looks like. I myself have been in a position where I think something's going to look really, really nice printed at a certain scale, and then I get the copies in the mail and, you know. For Barbie number 6, I went with Hard Rock Cafe Barbie from 2008. She did get a little bit spoiled because truthfully I did do this one before I made the prototype, but you know, it made sense to stop halfway, whatever. Forgive me, please. I feel like I didn't do this one's hair justice because I worked from this image exclusively and didn't look at a clear image where you can see that the strands of black hair are a little bit different, but it is what it is. I'm a little sad, but I feel like I'm still happy with how it looks. I definitely wanted to do artwork that were based on the designs of the Barbie, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself to be one for one, especially with a design like this where the patterns are so complicated. It's just plaid. That's complicated for me. Okay, it wasn't just the plaid. I also struggled with the fishnets a little bit. Just a lot of patterns that I wasn't used to drawing. I truthfully haven't kept up with modern Barbies much, but we need more alternative ones. I don't think there's anything else like this. We need more of her. I personally love seeing Barbie looking a bit punky. Now that we've done punky, I think it's time to do earthy for number 7. So for the earthy category, I went with the Change in Seasons Barbie from 1998 with the autumn theme. This is one of the ones I found on Pinterest, which was just like packaging, but I absolutely loved it because it's something I would wear. I don't think I see Barbie wearing earth tones as much, so I think it was an extra treat for me. She feels very witchy with her broom, which is always a plus. I'm trying to find other ways to monetize my art, and I know that stickers are a really good way to go, but I don't know that anyone would really want to buy stickers of someone else's OC, even if this is like Barbie themed, you know? I don't know. I feel like as artists right now, the market is very odd, and we're all trying to find little ways to make money. Anyways, back to the art. I think if we're doing like a tag yourself meme sort of setup for all these outfits, I think this is the one that I'm gonna relate to the most. Although I really do like the next one. Up next we have Bowling Champ Barbie from 1999. I absolutely love the colors on this doll, and of course the throwback to the original Barbie mold. This outfit seemed really playful, so I wanted to draw Plumbo being really cheeky. I think she's probably being a bad sport. Her high ponytail makes her the tallest of all the others in the zine, which is funny because she's not even wearing heels. I don't know if this is really lame or not, but I've always really loved the way bowling shoes look. I think it's like the clown aesthetic I'm really drawn to. I have a collection of mini porcelain clowns. I think they just fit the aesthetic. I mean, you can't look at this and tell me this outfit doesn't hit. I would just wear this casually. It would probably look a little bit funny just rolling up to Chipotle in this when I have no plans of going bowling, but who cares? It's fun. It's fashion. And speaking of fashion, for the next Barbie, I decided to base it off of this little fashion pack from 2002. I love the colors. It was going for this cute little denim look with the maxi skirt, the flowers. This is one of the ones that I took a lot of creative liberties on. Like, I lengthened the sleeves of the jacket and I added a little bandana in just to make it more of something I would wear because I saw the potential here. I wasn't really working with a lot. It was a really blurry picture on Pinterest yet again. I'm sure if I researched a little bit harder, I could find something a little bit more clear, but I wasn't too bothered, to be honest. I was fine taking my little creative liberties on this one. I think she turned out really cute and actually reminds me a lot of Fluttershy, which is funny because the next design and the last design reminds me a lot of Rarity, so I think they're going to be really good companions sitting next to each other. For our last girl, I have City Styles Barbie from 1995. I think she turned out to be one of my favorite of the bunch because I think she's serving that really like preppy, fashionista type girl, and I feel like she rounds out the cast of characters we have here. I'm also a really big fan of this shade of baby blue paired with blonde hair. I think it just looks really good. Maybe she would have bullied me a little bit in middle school, but you know what? I really did need to brush my hair. She was just looking out for me. But anyway, now that she's done, we can finally put her next to all of the other girls and see how the whole collection looks together. So here is the lineup. I actually can't decide which one's my number one favorite, but I have like a top 3. I think Mermaid, the witchy one, and of course Miss City Styles. I'm really curious to hear what your guys' favorite is and who you think would win best girl, so please let me know down in the comments. And I finished this with like a day to actually print everything out. So here I am kind of testing paper and then finally folding everything up. I actually had a really bad printer error when I went to go do this. Like, my printer stopped working, basically. I only was able to make 13 copies, and I could barely get those out, so we were not working with much. And if I had not waited till the last second, I would not have had this problem at all. But you know what? We can't all be perfect. We have to do it the cartoonist way, which is always the very last second. Also prepped a couple of my other zines at this time. You can see them sprinkled in there. After a very short night, we arrived at space. It was very fun. Here's the cute little setup. I've always loved this show. It's very relaxed. You get to just chill with all of your comics friends. So here's a closer look at what the zine turned out to be. I ended up adding a little tie because accordion books love to just jump open any chance they get. I ended up printing the zine on this paper that's one step up from plain paper, but not thick like cardstock is, because that doesn't really work with something so small. It gets kind of clumsy the thicker the paper is when it's this size. I think it looks really cute when you flip through it like a little book and you get to show off the playing cards. And while it can be read like a book, it can also be spread out like this and displayed this way. I think you could even hang it on the wall if you want to. Just pick a favorite side and go for it. Overall, I think I'm really happy with how it came out, and not bad for a week. And fun fact, I actually drew 20 designs. Like, when I sketched, I picked 20 and then narrowed it down to 10. At the time of me posting this video, I haven't put together an online shop to put these up yet. I have also not produced any more of these yet. It's going to be a very limited run anyway, because when I run out of the cards, I'll just stop making them. But that being said, I want to thank you guys for making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Don't really know what to do with an outro. I feel like you say something cheesy. Like, if it's comic related, should I say something like zine you later? That sounds really terrible. I'm so bye.